Alright guys, so life has been pretty hectic lately. It's one way of looking at it. But I'm definitely going through this massive transition. I'm not just talking about the physical realm either. But, first things first, I do want to announce that we've finally moved out. So I moved out with my girlfriend. We're just, in a share house. And I'm so excited and grateful for this opportunity because I've been waiting for this day my entire life, right? And it's finally here, and especially being an introvert, I need my alone time. I need that space and freedom to kind of express myself, really. Anyway, this is not the only reason why I'm recording this video, even though I definitely did feel compelled to share this news with you guys because, well, you are a part of this journey too, and without you guys, this wouldn't have manifested, so yeah. But before I go on, I do want to mention the upcoming Psych Substance podcast, which you guys have been very patient with, which I do appreciate. It will be another few days. I'm just setting a few things up. It's just my plate has been very full lately, and trust me when I say I've been trying my best, guys, to set up my life in a way where I can devote more time to creativity and doing what I'm here to do. We've had a few setbacks for sure, and it's not even just this YouTube thing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. As you guys know, I had this crazy existential crisis, which I'm just this last month or two finally on the tail end of it and shedding off that old skin. And I've still got some processing to do and some blocked emotions there for sure. But I can say without a doubt that I'm mostly healed from this crisis, right? I do want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank you guys who have stuck with me throughout this journey. Especially want to thank you guys who've stuck with me during that, let's say, extended dark night of the soul, right? And for those who don't know, I had a very traumatic trip which fucked me up royally. It broke me mentally, emotionally, spiritually. My energetic system was all fucked up. I was absorbing all the dark energy in the world. I could hardly go out to public without absorbing the pain and suffering of everyone that walked past. It was really heavy, and I barely crawled out of that experience, and I mean it. And I've been listening to Elliot Holtz, and he talks about how every wound is a womb, right? Which is something that I resonate with a lot. Because take this crisis, for example, as painful as it was actually an amazing opportunity for me to self-inquire, go within, but to be reborn into a new version of myself. It was just funny because this existential crisis, the worst of it, lasted for 9 months. Isn't that interesting? But to become a new version of yourself, yeah, you kind of got to get rid of the old version of yourself. And to get rid of the old version of yourself, well, let's just say that shedding off that old skin is not going to be sunshine and lollipops. There's a lot of letting go you got to do, and you just got to face yourself, which is fucking scary. And I'm by no means done, because it's a constant journey, of course. I'm finally seeing the big picture and exactly why that needed to happen, and I have a great understanding of how psychedelics work, this whole spiritual paths, the ego, the nature of reality, and all this kind of stuff. And I fell into a lot of traps, okay? And it's very easy to fall into spiritual traps on this journey. And I've been very foolish, right? And because of my tomfoolery, I don't know why I find that so funny. But because of my foolish actions, I've collected a lot of karmic debt, let's say, which I have to pay off the rest of my life now. But there is a reason why this whole experience happened. And I had to learn that lesson. I let my ego definitely get a hold of me, and I drifted off my path. And this is what happens when you drift off your purpose, guys. You're gonna get freaking hurt, period. And there's no ways about it. We're all here to fulfill our purpose. And when you drift from that purpose and get distracted by life, and guess what? That also includes spirituality, right? You can fall into the spiritual bypass trap and just build up your ego and reinforce its identity, right? And this is what happened to me. And because of my stupidity, I got a karmic beatdown. Anyways, I've picked up the pieces of what was left, and have grown a lot from this experience. Like, I genuinely have. I wholeheartedly believe that I can offer a lot of people help. Something that I really struggled getting from YouTube, you know, from my research, especially overcoming existentialism and nihilism and coping with psychedelic trauma and then removing emotional blockages. There's just not a lot of practical stuff out there. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense that I had to go to the depths of hell and experience like the worst case scenario of a psychedelic trip so that I can help lead people out of that pit. And that's when trauma goes full circle, guys, is that when you use your own trauma to serve others. You know, we're a multi-celled organism, you know what I mean? We need each other, we do, whether you like to admit it or not. And I do want to apologize as well for anyone who did follow my footsteps and ended up getting hurt because of my deluded philosophy on life. And it wasn't all deluded, of course. There's a lot of truth and practical advice that I've shared throughout this journey, but there was a lot of bullshit, a lot of spiritual BS. And I just got overexcited, you know. I had this ayahuasca experience. I had my born-again Christian moment, but with psychedelics. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Everyone should try it. But anyways, this last year has given me a lot of time to think and reorganize how I'm going to approach my life, this channel, other avenues I'm going to go down. And I can tell you that I'm back on my path, right? I drifted way too far from what I was originally here to do, and I got too carried away with the whole psychedelic YouTube thing. Because of all these people who supported me, I feel like it's my duty to over-deliver, you know, not just with quality content, but I owe it to myself to work on myself and be that person that I am portraying myself to be. You know, wisdom comes down to following your own advice, really. It's easy to just spout spiritual knowledge and all that kind of stuff, but you have to be that person, you know, to really make change. And it's hard to be that person because we all have these ego minds, right? And it's very easy to fall back into old habits, and that's okay. Like, you can't judge yourself for it. It's part of the duality. As long as the overall trend is upwards, then it's all good. And I know I've said this a lot, like, oh, I'm just getting started, but I mean it. I'm just getting started. I just got to organize my life in a way that I can do this. You know, the whole YouTube thing, and I've had a lot of setbacks, like especially financially. And it's like, well, what are you doing moving out? Well, that's the thing, guys. I'm just grateful that I don't need a luxurious lifestyle, and I'm not a materialistic person, right? Of course, renting, it's going to be hard. But at the same time, if eating canned rice and beans every day and not going out and sacrificing traveling and all that kind of stuff, as long as I get to have my own space, I'm happy to do it. I'm probably going to look for like a casual or a part-time job just to help with a few things, because it's not even just rent. That's the thing. Like, I've been putting my health back because I can't afford to pay these medical bills, right? And tax and my car registration and insurance and just, you know, all the bullshit everyday matrix stuff. You know, I had a really good job which took care of me, and I quit that full-time gig to pursue this, right? And then shortly after, that whole Iboga ordeal happened, and then it got me into a bit of a mess. I'm like, fuck, what did I do? I fucked up. But we are on the up and up, guys, and I've never been this happy in a very, very long time. Like, honestly, I can say without a doubt that I'm actually grounded in my own body, in this realm, and I'm happy with my own skin, and I'm happy with what I got. It's freeing, actually. So my mind's always like, oh, what's the next thing? Oh no, once I get this, then I'll be happy, or this, or this. You know, it's always like traveling. Like, traveling is one of my biggest passions in life, and of course I want to continue traveling, but I would gladly give that up if that means I get to do this, have my own space. You know, I'll gladly give up going out and eating nice food, even though that's the one that actually stings most because I love food so much. Sometimes you got to do sacrifices like that if you want to do what you want to do, and it's hardly a sacrifice when you're on point with what you're here to do. You know what I mean? Like, that is the greatest drug life has to offer. Where do we go from here? Even though I'm in a very relaxed, chilled, happy mood right now, but stresses of everyday life do kick in from time to time. And I'm like, every month I'm gonna struggle to continue doing this. And I would love to make documentaries, for example. That's been one of the biggest milestones and something that I truly enjoy, and I think that you guys enjoy it as well, judging from the comments. But I am sorry to say that I cannot continue doing documentaries at this point. It's just way too much time and effort for very, very little return right now. You know, because I had the Patreon milestone of like $1,000 a month to kind of, because even that is like, of course it's amazing and it's more than enough money for me to live off, but it's for me to like make documentaries and like the high quality content which you guys want to see, that I want to see. It's a journey, it's a process, and I'm not there yet, and that's fine. I just jumped too ahead. So I'm just learning to be patient. And I have much bigger ambitions than just making YouTube videos, you know, about psychedelics or whatnot. Not there's anything wrong with that, and I'm gonna continue to do so. But trust me, guys, I've got stuff in the works, which is gonna be a hell of a lot more valuable and practical to your life, and that's what I have a passion on doing. Just know that it's gonna get a lot better from here on out, right? And I'm going to do everything in my power to provide as much value as I can, and to take care of myself as well, which is very important, right? It's important to give water from the overfill instead of going towards your own resources and then it just takes you longer to recover. It's important to have this balance with anything that you do in life. But I'm very excited but nervous at the same time on how this thing's gonna go. And I just have faith that it's gonna work out in the end. Anyways, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure being on this journey and being able to share this experience with you guys. Sometimes it's really hard for me to just open up and be vulnerable and all that kind of stuff, especially on the internet. But it was a lot harder when I was going through my little crisis. Oh, that was tough, man. But anyways, if you do want to connect with me on a deeper level, we have created a Discord server. Just go on our Patreon, all the details are there. But yeah, I'll give you guys a key where you can join this server and you can become a part of the creative process, right? We can workshop ideas, talk about life, spirituality, psychedelics, philosophy, whatever. But this is something I'm going to work on more, because I fell into the trap of just focusing on making videos, views, grow my subscribers, grow my brand. And like, it's useful, and I'm glad I learnt all the lessons that I did on this journey, but I was shooting myself in the foot, right? In many ways, emotionally, mentally, and financially as well. I'm gonna do what needs to be done in order to make this happen, you know? I got a few things I'm gonna sell. Again, try to do some odd jobs here and there, maybe work on other stuff. But keep an eye out, actually, because if you guys want some really authentic, cool paintings that I got from Peru, which is very sentimental to me, actually, and it sucks letting it go, but the money for me right now is more important than a painting. So yeah, keep an eye out, because these are really cool. I put it up on Instagram, and too many people messaged me inquiring about it, so I'll do a bid or something. If you guys want to support in any way possible, it's all appreciated, you know. It could be likes, shares, you know, donations, pledging on Patreon, buying merch, you know, or just telling a friend about this channel, whatever. It all helps, and I really do appreciate it. And if you've ever considered donating on Patreon, then this would be the best time, because this is when I need the most help, you know, just to kind of take care of just the basic necessities, so I can focus more on this. And if not, it's all good, really. Actually, if you want to send us some free furniture, we'd much appreciate that, because we have nothing right now. Oh man. But again, I kind of like sitting on the floor, actually. It's alright. But aside from that, follow us on Instagram, I suppose, if you haven't already. And have a good day. Be kind to each other. Catch you in the next video. Peace.